Welcome back, football romantics, to episode 5 of our 2026 World Cup diary. I'm Arthur, and as always, I'm here with my daughter Nora, the real tactical brain of the family. How are you holding up with all these late nights?
I'm good, Dad. Running on coffee and heat maps, basically. With 48 teams in this thing, my database is getting a serious workout, and honestly, I love it. What a match day.
Oh, it had everything. Netherlands against Japan was proper drama. The Dutch looked in control, then Kamada pops up in the 88th minute, and suddenly it's 2-2. You just never count Japan out. Then Amad Diallo wins it in the 90th for the Ivory Coast against Ecuador, 1-0. Pure, late chaos. Sweden took full advantage against Tunisia and ran out 5-1 winners. And Germany were clinical in that 7-1 win over Curacao. But I loved seeing Curacao get their first ever World Cup goal. They cut to one supporter going wild in the stands, and honestly, that's the World Cup right there.
Yeah, and those late goals weren't just random either. In the Netherlands-Japan match, the Dutch had the clear expected goals edge. They just wasted some really good chances and got too defensive at the end of the second half. Japan stayed compact, stayed calm, and eventually got lucky with the deflection off that header. Also, Suzuki, the Japanese keeper, is making himself noticed. Same with the Ivory Coast, really. They kept Ecuador pinned back, kept winning the ball, kept building pressure. So by the end, that Diallo winner almost felt like it had been coming.
Statistical inevitability. I love that. You can turn a stoppage-time winner into algebra, Nora. But all right, let's look ahead. Belgium against Egypt. To me, Belgium still look like a team searching for themselves. What are your numbers telling you?
Honestly, I'm not fully sold on them. In qualifying, their chance creation per 90 was lower than you'd expect from a side with that much talent. A lot of their best work comes in transition and wide areas. So if Egypt sit in and stay compact, Belgium can get a little stuck. Defensively, the ball-winning numbers are decent. But the real question is whether that midfield can protect the space when Salah takes off. That's where this gets really interesting.
Yeah, because, I still think of Belgium through that old underdog lens. Back in 1986, with Enzo Sifo in midfield, they had grit and imagination. Internal tension surrounding Josip Weber arose off the pitch due to debts he accumulated while playing cards. Weber received his Belgian passport just shortly before the World Cup started. For this edition, history repeats itself since Fernandez Pardo is in the Belgian selection after previously opting to play for Spain.
Let's just hope he is equally talented with cards as he is with a ball. And what matters as well is that he represented Belgium throughout the national youth teams and used to play for Ghent. So he is not at all a stranger. What is strange, however, is that the Ghent goalkeeper, Davy Roef, is not in the selection despite stopping 33% of penalties against. With him between the posts, a penalty shootout would be a breeze.
Ghent. That's the same team where Jonathan David became a star. Anyway, for our legend of the day, let me drift back to 1974 for a second. Johan Cruyff, goodness me. He wasn't just a forward, he conducted the whole match. That famous turn against Sweden, he drags the ball behind his standing leg, and the defender is left turning in circles. Total football, everyone moving, everyone swapping places. It felt like watching art.
Exactly, and that idea is still everywhere in the modern game. When analysts talk about spacing, passing networks, pitch control, we're really tracing it back to Cruyff. He was giving coaches answers before the models even existed. And off the pitch, today had its own kind of beauty. The Japanese fans were cleaning the stadium again after the match, which is always brilliant to see. The Dutch supporters turned whole streets orange. And yes, the internet has absolutely noticed Suzuki after those saves.
I did see that, and I loved it. That kind of respect says so much. As for the memes, right? I'm still trying to stay on top of my email, so you'll have to keep me updated. Looking ahead, though, today's slate is terrific. Spain against Cabo Verde, with Lamine Yamal fit and ready for his World Cup debut. Belgium trying to deal with Egypt. Saudi Arabia against Uruguay, who finally made it to Miami after that rough paperwork delay. And Iran against New Zealand.
Yeah, Yamal's debut could be one of those tournament moments everybody remembers. His creative numbers for someone that age are ridiculous. And Uruguay really do need to shake off that travel mess quickly if they want 3 points. But before we start channel surfing, we did make a call on the match we're watching together, right?
We did. Out of everything on offer, we are officially locking in Belgium against Egypt.
Yes, Belgium against Egypt has everything. Belgium's new superstar Doku and legends De Bruyne and Courtois against Premier League start Salah and Marmoush. I can't wait to see the ball rolling.
Couldn't agree more. I'll bring the popcorn, you bring the heat maps. That's it for episode 5. Thanks for coming along with us, everyone. Tomorrow we'll find out whether Belgium passed the Egypt test and whether Yamal lived up to the buzz.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Hit subscribe so you don't miss tomorrow's breakdown. I'll have fresh numbers, and Dad will almost certainly have another story from the vault. See you tomorrow.